Well, welcome back to the Undervalued Investor YouTube channel, where today we're taking a look at Canada's 5 largest tech companies to see how they've been performing in 2023. They've largely been overshadowed by the US tech giants like Apple and Microsoft, but a lot of these Canadian tech companies have actually been outgrowing right now from a revenue basis a lot of the US tech companies. So we're going to take a look at the revenue growth and see where these companies sit in 2023. If that is a conversation you'd appreciate, hit that like button and consider subscribing for more stock videos like this. Firstly, Canada's largest companies primarily comprise in the financial sector, with Royal Bank of Toronto, Dominion being the largest market cap companies, but we also have heavy exposure to the energy sector with Canadian Natural Resources, Enbridge, Suncor, also famously known as our railways like Canadian National Railway that have had excelled performance over the last decade. But what's largely under discussed is our kind of diversified tech sector. We have more than just Shopify in Canada's technology sector. They're just a lot smaller market cap, but they are growing at an accelerated rate. Now, we'll start with the largest market cap of these 5 and work our way down, because Shopify is the more globally known, which crashed coming out of the 2022 peak and then has recently been rebounding upwards of over 100%. They've recently cut a lot of costs, laid off employees, and cut down on warehousing and distribution, which they were trying to use to compete with Amazon to focus on their core business, which we can see has been accelerating out of the 2022 crash. And we're kind of getting back to 30% growth rates. The company's on a trailing 12 month is going to be able to generate about 6.3 billion, but we can see most of their money comes from subscription solutions, like when you sign up to their website services, and merchant solutions, because lately they do a lot of merchant solutions, add-ons. They also offer loans now, I believe, which has been the largest revenue generation for them. Second in line, we have Constellation Software. Now, this company, however, unlike focusing on a core business, they focus on acquiring tech companies that generate over $5 million in revenue. And that acquiring business model has done very well, leading them to a 27% gain this year alone on a 5-year basis, outperforming the S&P 500, has a $57 billion market cap, almost half as much as Shopify, but has seen very consistent revenue growth of about 30% quarter over quarter, pretty much consistently since 2021. Taking a look, a lot of their money comes from licensing, professional services, hardware, maintenance, and other recurring costs, leaving them to generate in the last quarter about $2 billion, on the 6th month about $3.9 billion. Exceptional growth. Then we have CGI, which is a Canadian multinational information technology consulting and software development company, which is a mouthful, but they kind of primarily focus on business to business software. So everything in the oil sector to banking, very diverse that way. And that has also led to very outsized performance, almost up 20%, second in line to Constellation Software, and about 55% over the last 5 years. We can see that their growth right now is very exceptional. I mean, we're still talking about double digit. This is very comparable to a lot of the US tech companies right now, generating about $3.6 billion versus 3.2 year over year. But we can see, again, very consistent when you're operating with government, oil, banks, big business. There's no real, fluctuation in their revenue. So you're not getting the wicked downsides, but you're not getting the same exceptional growth you are out of something like Shopify or Constellation. Now there's a company called OpenText, and this company develops and sells enterprise information and management software, which is also very intriguing. A little bit more core focused, but nonetheless, we can see the performance has been kind of more in line with Shopify's. It has recovered a lot of the losses that it experienced from the peak of 2021. It's only down about 22% from those highs. And we can see that they generate from cloud services and subscriptions, customer support, licenses, professional services, and other, generating about 1.49 billion versus 900 million this time last year. This company has been excelling in the last couple quarters, seeing upwards of 65% year-over-year quarterly revenue growth. So this company has been doing something with their business that you might want to dive deeper into, because there's clearly a lot of growth to be captured here. And I also want to point out that these companies, for the growth that they're starting to pick up on, could be favorably valued here. Now, taking a look at the last one, we have Descartes, if I'm saying that correctly, Descartes, Systems Group. And this is also a multinational technology company specializing in logistics software and supply chain management. So more toward warehousing and distribution, the technology of that, which is probably a very technical business to be in. Year to date up 5%. So not seeing the same kind of growth, but very consistent over 5 years, up 121%. Very, very great performance out of this company. And we can see that their basic revenues here set at about 136 million versus 116 million this time last year, which is very exceptional and stable growth, because warehousing and distribution has been coming up so much, as we've seen with Amazon, e-commerce. continuing to grow. This company's taking a really great benefit from that, still seeing double-digit growth. And a lot of these growth rates, if you compare them to the likes of Amazon or Google, are actually much higher. But do keep in mind these market caps are also a lot smaller. Maybe one day, if they continue to keep up these growth rates, they could become some of the largest companies sitting on the top 10 in Canada's economy. But I'll pass that question off to you. I'd love to know what you think in that comment section below.